What's up you guys, it's Adrian here and welcome back to my channel. So business schools in general look for people with similar backgrounds and goals, and it becomes relatively easy to range all of them and put them into categories. I'm gonna talk about some stereotypes of personalities at MBA business schools, so you will have a better understanding of what sort of people you might run into. The categories are somewhat standard and you will find very similar people at every top-tier MBA program. Some characters are quite memorable and definitely stand out from the rest of the class, while others are well represented in the entire class population. The personality types are just rough sketches, so be aware that every individual is unique after all and irreducible to a simple stereotype. Therefore, please take it more lightheartedly rather than too seriously. Oh, and if you're easily offended, don't watch this video. Anyway, so here are the 10 MBA personalities you should look out for. Number 1, sponsored students. Every top-tier MBA program has a number of so-called sponsored students, which refers to people whose employers pay either part or all of their MBA tuition. These students are in the lucky position not having to worry about recruiting because they will have a job lined up once they graduate. A lot of them are consultants, but you will also find folks from corporates, family businesses, and sometimes even banks. To outsiders, it often feels like they're on a long and paid vacation because they don't have to worry about recruiting and can solely focus on classes, traveling, and socializing. Number 2, ex-consultants. Business schools attract a lot of management consultants and ex-management consultants. The majority of these students are from the big 3 management consulting firms, McKinsey, BCG, and Bain, but there are also students from other prominent consulting firms. If they haven't left their firm, they're typically sponsored. They're usually equipped with a strong management skill set, and they're in the program because either they're looking to enjoy a 1 to 2 year break from work, well, they probably wouldn't say that in your face, but you get what I'm saying. Or they're looking for new things to do, such as private equity, starting their own business, or any other reason, like finding a life partner. At business schools that apply the case study teaching method, ex-consultants find it very easy to navigate the course load and come up with pretty impressive solutions. Most of the time, quite effortlessly. The classes to them present no challenge at all. Seeing them dealing with what seemed to me difficult cases, to them it felt like a joke. They're probably the smartest people you will meet in business school, and they go through the curriculum with ease, and instead of allocating time for recruiting, you will find them at bars and nightclubs. Because even if they're not sponsored and looking for new opportunities, they will find it very easy to land almost any job. Some of them are courted by investment banks and consulting firms, but they end up working at a startup instead. Number 3, veterans. Especially in US MBA programs and a little less so in leading European programs, you will find military veterans and service members. They're interesting individuals because they bring unique skills to MBA programs. Given their military training and service, they come to class with established leadership skills and self-discipline. Military veterans often earn their degrees later in life than traditional students and rarely are in their mid to late 20s, but more in their early to mid 30s, and sometimes even in their early 40s. They have more real-life experience than the traditional MBA student, in addition to years of professional experience in military roles across the globe. I used to like working with veterans in my MBA program, and I still like to work with veterans to this day. Veterans are great at making decisions, and they don't shy away from seeking out advice when needed and then execute accordingly. Also, they seem to be very persistent and highly productive and adaptable, which is an important attribute in business nowadays. Especially in US MBA programs, veterans and service members represent between 5 to 10% of the entire class population. Number 4, rich kids. Every leading MBA program has a handful. Why? Because they're spoiled and used to nothing but the best. They come from the most expensive zip codes in the US, or from royal families, or from dynasties of entrepreneurs with long-lasting traditions from all across the world. These types of lucky individuals know everything about the finer things in life, so don't even bother pretending you know more about them about any given luxury item. An MBA is just another step in their lives. It's not needed, but a nice 1 to 2 year journey to make new friends from hopefully similar backgrounds and lifestyles. You won't find them often enough on campus unless they have to be physically present. Instead, they will be island hopping in the Caribbean or in the Mediterranean, or skiing in Aspen or in the Alps, or simply just jet-setting the world. Their last names are widely known and open doors in which you will never be allowed to knock, and you will find these people especially at US Ivy League schools. Number 5, ex-athletes. Ex-athletes are the ones you mainly encounter in the US, since college and pro sports are a far bigger thing than outside the US. At schools like Harvard Business School, you will likely meet ex-NFL or ex-NBA players or people from any other US pro sports league. Their soft skills are already above average, and given their experience in team sports, they're team players. Their impressive sports entertainment past will likely open doors at a lot of firms. Even though they probably already made their millions in salary and bonus, they're aware that their careers aren't going to last forever. So they're looking for something that would challenge them and that would obviously help them going into the future. Number 6, diversity candidates. Nowadays, all companies are looking for a diverse set of cultures and LGBTQ candidates. In this regard, business schools have a lot to offer. People in this category are treated highly respectful and very well. Sometimes you'll feel that the school rolls out the red carpet for them. On the other hand, you can't blame business schools for that. After all, it's really the hiring companies that dictate what sort of profiles they're looking for. And if companies want more diversity, business schools will adjust accordingly. In fact, a lot of the major international corporations love students with a diversity background so much that they run a dedicated leadership program for them, or a dedicated internship program in which they will be guided and mentored, so by the time they graduate, they will be hired for a full-time position. Personally, I think it's great to meet people with different diversity backgrounds. It makes the mix of people way more interesting and fun. And speaking from my own experience, I've only met smart and hardworking people in that category. Number 7, Chinese and Indians. So, Chinese and Indian students. And by mentioning them, by no means do I mean to sound racist. They can represent around 20 to 25% of the entire student population, either in the US or in Europe. Students in this category are fun, smart, and hardworking. Typically, they're among the top 1% of their undergraduate class, either in the US or in their home countries, worked for large multinational companies, and basically worked their asses off to make it to the US or to Europe. Indians are never shy to express their opinions during classes and do it with an excessive amount of confidence. Chinese are usually much quieter, work together on individual home assignments, and never close WeChat on their smartphones. Number 8, the entrepreneur. This person is highly ambitious and desires to start a business, either with a group of classmates or by him or herself. They're looking to gain the knowledge and skills needed to start a business or grow an existing one, and take classes such as entrepreneurship, venture capital, and private equity. Some of these folks have already founded a startup and sold it successfully. Some of them made millions and some of them went bankrupt. You will rarely see these students at recruiting events since they're not looking to be employed. If anything, they're looking for capital to start a new venture. Number 9, the family guy. In every MBA program, you will come across people, mainly guys, but sometimes also women, who are married and have kids. They tend to be on the older side, and while you won't find them at many social events and parties because they have their family obligations, they do show up at some very special occasions. Especially when there is something that sparks their interest, they will do anything to make this happen. And if they do show up, they oftentimes like to go as crazy as possible because they don't often get the chance to do that. They take classes and recruiting pretty seriously because they have a family to support. Number 10, world changers. World changers are non-capitalists, or you can also call them business hippies, who actually want to do good in the world. Social impact is the keyword here. They usually have non-traditional backgrounds and only eat super healthy food made at home. A world changer may be interested in positively impacting the world through business and ends up in impact investing if it has to be a finance role. Other areas of interest include sustainability and corporate social responsibility. They're very vocal in class, especially in business ethics, and tend to be more active in MBA student organizations. When they network, it's usually with alumni and professionals working in organizations focusing on social impact. They may also be interested in participating in volunteer opportunities, internships, and other programs that allow them to apply their business skills for the social good. After the MBA, you will likely find them at a global nonprofit organization or at a management consulting firm. So those were 10 different personality types, and as you can see, business schools attract a broad cross-section of the population. If you decide to do an MBA, or if you have already been accepted to an MBA program, make sure to be as open as possible to meet new people, irrespective of their origins and their mindsets, and you will be surprised to see what sorts of people you unexpectedly get along with and make new friends with. Get to know as many people as possible, and maybe you'll run into someone who reminds you of those who made the list. And if you feel like I forgot a category, feel free to drop a note in the comment section below. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. As always, make sure to hit the like button if you found this video valuable and informative. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you want to be updated on new content, and hit the notification bell if you haven't done that already. That's it for today. My name is Adrian, and I'll see you next time.